Gail Keeley. This is a practice for the Aging Gracefully program, 55 plus. So let's start lying on our backs in constructive rest. You can have a blanket under the back of your head if you like. Constructive rest is knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and feet about hip width apart. And we'll start the sacral rock. So we're just going to tip the knees very slowly to the right, just a couple inches, and then back to the left. And just keep this movement going. If you find any sore spots, move slowly through them. If you're not finding any sore spots, then you can move your legs a little deeper to the side, maybe move just a little faster, but keep it slow, warming up the joints in the legs and the hips. Eventually you can drop your legs all the way over to the side. A couple more times in each direction. And then coming back to the center, hug the knees into the chest. And then take your knees wide, reach down between your legs and hold the front of the ankles with straight arms. Let your knees and feet just drop out to the sides. If you're getting a really nice stretch in the upper inner thighs here, you can stay here. And if happy baby is not accessible to you, this is a good alternative pose. But if you can do happy baby and you're ready for it, let's take the feet up over the knees. I'm going to hold the outside edges of the feet for happy baby. And then let the feet go and float back down to the floor. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. And then let's do this little swivel with the knee. So draw the knee towards you and then away. Do that about 3 or 4 times. Just warming up the hip joint a little more. And then keeping the knee away, on an exhale, bring both legs towards you. Reach through, hold, to thread the needle, hold either the back of the left thigh or front of the left knee. Keep the knee out to the side. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Find the steady breath. And then you can do a little pumping action, waiting for the exhale. When it comes, draw the knees in a little using your arms and release for a breath in. You can work it like that, or you can just be static in the pose, thread the needle. And then release and untangle the legs. Let's take it to the other side. Left ankle over right knee. Do the swivel. Knees moving towards your face and then away from your face 3 or 4 times. And then hold the knee away. On the exhale, bring the legs towards you, reach through, thread the needle. You can flex that top foot too. So if this at all ever bothers your knee, flex your foot, drawing the toes back towards the shin. That'll engage the knee joint and protect your knee from overstretch. And then if you like that little pumping action, drawing the knees in on the exhale, releasing for a breath in. And then releasing the pose, bring the feet back down to the floor. And then let's roll over. We'll roll to the left side, bringing the knees up to about hip level. Inhale the right arm up to the ceiling, and exhale out into a twist, taking the back of the right shoulder towards the floor, turning the head softly. Steady breath. And then releasing and rolling onto your back. Let's take it to the other side. Knees up to same level. Inhale the left arm up and exhale out into the twist. And a steady breath here. And then release the twist, coming back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Just for a few breaths. And then let's come up to stand, and we'll stand at the back of the mat in mountain pose. And let's do some shoulder rotations. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We want to do this about 8 times. Just gently moving the shoulders. Don't force through any stuck spots. Keep your knees and hips soft, shoulders soft. And one more time. Inhale up, exhale down. Change sides. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhaling up, exhale down. Keep it soft. Be gentle with the shoulders. And one more rotation here. And then back to mountain pose. Let's take the hands, interlace the fingers, and stretch up tall. Press the feet gently down, draw the belly button back, and then release the left fingertips all the way down. And start to side bend over to the left. Use your arm as a lever here, so keep the arm relatively straight. You can swing your hips way out to the right. And if your neck is bothering you, just turn your head, look down. Draw the belly button strongly back. And then up you come. Inhale, stretching the arms forward, palms away from you. Stretch up. Release the right fingertips. And start the side bend to the right. And then here you can let your hips sway out to the left. Reach the arm. Release your neck. Turn your head if you need to. Belly button strongly back towards the spine. And hold it there as up you come. And then let's take chair pose. Inhale both arms forward and up. Exhaling, bending the knees, moving the sit bones back a little. If this is hard for your shoulders, instead bend your elbows and bring your arms out to the side, like this. Try to get the weight on the heels. And look down, make sure your knees are right over your toes. Couple breaths. And then slowly just rolling over towards the forward bend. Hang down, but if your hands don't touch the floor, put your hands up on blocks. And then let's start to walk out to table pose, bending the knees, coming to table for cat pose. Wait for an exhale, and when it comes, swivel your hips so your tailbone points down. Push your hands down, a back bend will come in. Start normal breath here. Draw your belly button up a lot. And then when you get ready to release it, do it on an inhale, swiveling the hips so the tailbone points up. The back bend drops in as you lift your chest. And just go back and forth like this 3 more times in each direction. And after your last one, push back to child pose. Let's stretch the arms forward. Inhale back up to all fours. And then check out your hands. Make sure they're placed well for downward facing dog pose. I like the middle fingers pointing straight forward and parallel with each other. Hands are shoulder width apart. Turning the toes under. Press your hands and feet down and lift with your belly button. Coming back into the down dog. Slowly putting the legs into it. And then bending the knees, come on back down, child pose. And then let's roll up to sitting on the heels. If this isn't good for you, you can sit up on a block, or you could put a blanket around the back of your knees, like so. And then bringing both arms forward. Let's stack the right elbow into the left. Bend the elbows, bring the hands together. Draw the lower ribs back. Keep your neck soft, move your head around. See if you can lift your elbows just a little. Eagle arms, Garudasana. And then release. Bring the arms forward again. Put the left into the right, bend the elbows, hands together. You want ultimately your thumbs to be pointing at your face. Make sure you haven't jutted your lower ribs forward. Neck is soft, elbows lift a little, and then the steady breath. And then release. And let's come back into table pose. We'll do bird dog. Slide your right foot back, toes turn under. Draw the belly button up against the spine and then lift the leg. Spot the yogic gaze on the floor and then lift the opposite arm. Steady breath. And then release. Slide the left leg back, belly button up against the spine, lift the leg. Spot the gaze, then the opposite arm. And then release. And let's take plank pose. So once again, set the hands just like down dog. Bring the shoulders forward so they're right over the wrists, and then step the legs back. Plank pose, belly button up against the spine. And then pull it up like you're trying to pull it up towards your chin. And then slowly just bend the knees and come all the way down to the floor. Bring your hands forward. Bring your knees towards each other. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand to get that foot. Now, from here, you can either have your head down, or you can use your elbow, your right elbow, to elevate your chest for half frog pose. Steady breath. And then release. Change sides. So inner knees towards each other. Bend the right leg. Reach back, get the foot. You can also use a belt. So if you're not able to reach your foot, use a belt to make your arm a little longer. Just loop the belt around the foot. Steady breath. And then release. Let's come into Sphinx pose. So elbows are shoulder width apart, wrists shoulder width apart. Elbows are just forward of the shoulders here. Sternum is lifted a little. This is a pose that we'd like to hold for maybe even a whole minute, just a little bit longer here. And now, let's slowly come all the way back to child pose. Just walk your hands back. Push back. You can sashay your hips from side to side as you go back to decompress your spine. And then let's come back up to the standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Hang down. And then bending the knees, rolling up slowly, head and shoulders coming up last. And you can bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. And then let's take wide leg standing pose. We'll take the feet wide. Outer edges of the feet are parallel to the short ends of the mat. And then coming forward, bending at the hips. Just coming forward. Release your arms. If they don't touch the floor, put your hands up on blocks. Otherwise, just bring your hands to the floor. Keep a flat back at first. So the crown of the head is forward, sternum forward, rib cage forward. But then we're just going to allow this to go over and over into its forward bend. And then reach out. Grab your ankles if you can, otherwise keep your hands on the floor. Don't lose your balance. Squeeze your legs towards each other. So pull the ankles towards each other. And then slowly coming back up, bend your knees again and curl up. And bring your legs together. And then let's come back down again. This time we want to have a block near us. Come down and set up to do a supported bridge pose. So lying down on your backs. Have your block within reach. And we're going to take this bridge pose up to a little supported inversion. And so you can go on any height of the block, this height, this height or even the flat height. I recommend the middle one, but if you can't get it, go to the flat one. So all we're going to do is bring the feet back towards the back of the hips, press the feet down, lift the sacrum, and slide the block in. Right in under the sacrum. And then we want to get a nice rounded chest here. So what we're going to do is press the back of the head gently down, the shoulders gently down, and the elbows gently down. You can point your fingers up. And that'll just lift your chest. So just practice that. Pressing the back of the head, the shoulders, and the elbows, plus the upper arms down, lifts the chest. Keep that. And then bring your knees up over your hips and your feet up over your knees. And then you can bring your hands down as long as you can keep the lift in the chest. So we want the chest lifted the whole time. This is called deep leg pose. It's really just a supported half shoulder stand. If you can't do this on your own, you can do it up against a wall. It's a lot like legs on wall, and you can rest your legs on the wall if you prefer. And then slowly bending the knees. Take the feet to the floor, pick up the hips, take the block out, uncurl your spine, and hug your knees back to your chest. All right, let's come up. And this time, let's take a blanket and unfold it just enough to this, about this size. And then put it on your mat and come back and sit on it. Like so. Make sure there's nothing behind you. Move the blocks away. And we'll do half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. So half boat is done with a little curvy spine. So you allow your back to slouch a little. You drop your chin towards your chest. You engage the lowest abdominal muscles way down. They run from hip to hip. Transverse abdominis, they're called. When you think you have them, tip back and see if you can balance on your sit bones. If you can do that, then the next step is bring your feet up to knee height. And you can see I've activated my feet. Don't let them slack off. Let go. The last thing is to slide out to the half boat. Go slowly. Try to keep your head and your feet on the same plane, drawing your belly button back strongly as you go. Stay on your sacrum. And then slowly release. Come up. Lean forward. And let's do one more half boat. Taking it from the top. Remember, you can always retreat to the step before it. So the slouchy back, drop chin. Engage the abdominals, balance, feet up. Release the hands. And the last thing, slide it out. Keep drawing your abdominals back, back, back towards your spine. And then up you come. Once again, just lean forward. And then you can slowly come out, and we're at shavasana, corpse pose. Use your blanket under your head if you like, or cover up. Make yourselves very comfortable, and have a nice shavasana. Namaste.